What's up, y'all? This is Dre with Bill 206, Bill 206 Media. This show is called The Collective Network. We're bringing folks together from the community doing amazing things and have been doing amazing things just to share the resources that they have with the community at large so you guys could tap in with them and others just to get tapped into what's going on. And today I got a brother that I grew up with. I've known this brother since I was like 10 years old. I'm not going to share my age because I'm getting up there. But I've known this brother since, I was 10 years old. His dad used to coach us. His brother used to watch us and clown me because I couldn't make no layups when we was playing basketball. So we all grew up down at Rainier Community Center, the old Rainier. So I got my brother. I see him back in the back of the studio, Alvertis. I'm going to bring him on. He's going to talk about some of the amazing work that he's doing in the community. What's good, bro?
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm good. Happy to be on here. Happy to get a chance to talk with you. Yeah, and see what you're doing here, man. You've been doing great things. Just appreciate you allow me to, grace your presence for 10, 15 minutes here.
That's what's up. No, we appreciate you coming on, sharing what you got going in the community. So we'll jump in. Why don't you share a little bit with folks about yourself, just a little bit who you are, anything that you want to share, and then we'll dive into some more of the questions about some of the work you have and are doing in the community.
Well, you guys know my name's Alvertis Brooks Jr., originally from Seattle. Grew up in the CD, but spent a lot of my time in the South End, Rainier Community Center. Franklin High School graduate. I won't say the year since we're trying to keep our ages out of the public eye here. I was a basketball player while I was at Franklin. Actually played basketball, golf, and was a track guy. Got a scholarship at Seattle University. Played at Seattle U for a little bit. Got my undergrad in accounting and finance, and later got my master's in intercollegiate athletic leadership. I'm by profession currently a athletic director, serving the Seattle Public School District currently, but I've worked in public, private, charter schools in Seattle over the last 10, 12 years. So, that's what I do for work, community wise. Started my brother's foundation back in 2009, Aaron Brooks Foundation, where we support the Drills and Skills program, a program that was started in Seattle in '91. It's been in our late night programs, and then after about 10 years after that was cut from the city's budget. And then we brought it back in 2010, where we're operating out of after school programs and doing some work in Tukwila School District, as well as working at summer programming with the Seattle Park. So I've always been around the community, not one to necessarily want to be in the limelight, but really just putting programs and people together. And give the opportunities that I was fortunate enough to have through mentors in my life. So,
And I didn't know you played golf. That's dope.
Yeah, man. When I found out my junior year, I found out that if I played golf, if I was on the golf team, I got free rounds in high school, and I got clubs. I was like, oh yeah, I got to do this. Plus, I didn't want to do Drayton at Franklin had those crazy fall workouts you had to do if you weren't playing a sport. So when I found out golf was in the fall, I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this.
It's a win-win.
It was a win. Yeah.
So you kind of jumped into the second question, which is cool, but I want to give you some time to elaborate more on. So the second question is, tell us about the work you are or have done in the community. So you kind of jumped into that with Drills and Skills in your current role, but I know you've done a lot of other stuff around education and just like you said, you're not really a limelight guy, but you're definitely impactful and making things happen around policies and advocating and all that good stuff. So I want to give you some space to share the amazing stuff you've been doing and are doing.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I don't really see it as amazing. I feel like it's just work, right? I mean, you and I think we both grew up in this area, this space, and we had really great people. I know you bring Rico Brimley on often. I think of my uncle James Hampton, who took their time to create programming to allow us to see, how great we could be. That whole self-efficacy piece. And so, for me, a lot of my passion outside of my my 9 to 5 has been trying to create community opportunities for our community to get those I apologize, opportunities for our community and really our young boys and men to see really just what they can be. And so I've because sports has been kind of the backbone to how I've gotten to where I'm at. I've always tried to utilize and optimize the opportunities for our youth to not just see sports as end all be all, but see it as an opportunity to see where your leadership is, see the different life skills you can get from it to move you forward. And so I talked about my brother's foundation, where we really use sports as a carrot to really support youth and being all it can be. I've more recently was part of the founding group of a public charter school in Southeast Seattle, Rainier Valley Leadership Academy, where I ran operations, but really focused on providing an educational experience that focused on our Black boys and Black girls and who they were, and that was a little disconnected from maybe the experiences we had in our public school experiences. And so that was really that was powerful for me to be a part of that. It's that was in 2017, I believe we started that. I left in 2019 to take the current role I'm in now as the Assistant Director of Athletics for Seattle Public Schools. But that work with the school is still really deep, near to my heart. And, I still try to provide and help as much as I can. Outside of that, I think I've talked to you about some of the work that I'm doing with Rainier Valley Community Development Fund, which is a fund that was started in 2000 due to some of the displacement that was happening with the light rail in the South End. And so, initially that fund was started to support businesses in their transition from spaces as they lost revenue. And now we're 20 years past, and now we have this funding for our community and our people to help grow their small businesses, whether they be, needing a $5,000 to $200,000, $300,000 loan. And so I'm just really, really happy to be a part of that and support however I can.
That's dope. And I see on the screen it says "Learn with us now." Do you want to share a little bit of that? What you do with that? I mean, you're doing so much. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Like, you do so much. That's what I'm saying. Like, it is amazing work, and I get it. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I don't want to be kudos for stuff that it's like, this is who I am. It's no need to big up me for taking care of my kid or, doing work in the community, because that's like, it's in me, not on me. So, but I definitely want to give you, like I said, some space to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Of course, I wouldn't talk about the consulting company I started on my own, right? but yeah, so Learn With Us Now, it's educational consulting. I mean, like I said, I spent the last 12 plus years in education in the Seattle area. I'm working in both independent, started the charter school and now in public. And so really wanted to give back to the community in a way that supported, our families of color, in understanding, what the academic environment is in Seattle, and, trying to help pick the best option for their students. So, we do everything from workshops on college readiness to conversations, like as I said, on, is private the option for your child? Is Catholic? Is public? And then also finding opportunities outside of education to further develop your child's develop the whole child. So whether that be in their athletic endeavors, finding opportunities for them to connect within athletics, or whether that be the arts. That's just kind of so we don't necessarily put on any programming. We support and push out any programs that are out there that are for us and by us.
So like a connector convener type thing, which is good, because people, like I said, it's kind of what this show is about, is just to make people aware of what's going on so they can be connected and convene and know that it's coming from a trusted resource. So,
Right.
all right. So,
Right.
so the next question is who or what inspires you and why?
Who or what inspires me and why? Honestly, my kids inspire me. I get to see them be their true selves every day, and and watching that inspires me to continue to push forward, so that they can continue to feel comfortable in who they are and who they want to be. So that that's my inspiration. They are.
And that's what life is about. Once you have a kid, it ain't about you no more. It's about them and how you make the world a better place, and then thinking about their kids, and that's real.
Right. Right.
So I'm gonna let you answer this question how you want to answer, because it's kind of a
Well,
loaded question because there's a lot going on right now. So it's what do you think about everything that's going on right now? So you can zone in on one or two things or everything. It's just a lot going on in the world right now. So I just want to get your input and insight on that.
wow. Yeah, that is loaded. That's deep. That's a lot. I've always been one to keep elders around me and really lean on our elders' knowledge, um, and try to learn from past mistakes or opportunities. And I think when everything that went down with the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement, I took the opportunity to really talk to our elders about, just looking to see like what you're seeing now anything different than what you saw in the 60s, or what your elders might have seen before you. And a lot of this unfortunately is secular, right? We've the fight has been the same since the fight began, right? And we have these cycles where we take a couple steps forward, and we have these cycles where we take some steps back. And so the key is, I think, to make sure that we're learning from opportunities that were missed before, so that we are taking more steps forward than we did in our with the generations before us did. So for a Black man, I think for us it's like, okay, well, somebody else is listening, like okay, you guys actually do see this now, right? Like, oh, okay. And you've got to just kind of take it day to day and push forward, because that's what we've always had to do. So
Yeah, that's real, and it's televised now, right? The movement. They always said the movement wasn't televised. And it's not in the history books. Like we've been taking numbers since we got here. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they just ain't told that story. So I think now we got a platform where we're able to tell the story, and we could, with social media, we're able to control some of the media more than mainstream media. So yeah, this is nothing new. It's nothing new.
It's funny you say that, because I'm not a social media individual, which I probably need to get better at. But it randomly saw someone had posted something about, how do we know that our system is flawed? Well, we're having a trial about a murder that everyone saw, and the trial is taking a month to happen, right? Like,
right.
So you just gotta learn. We learn to navigate it.
Yeah. So speaking of that, like, it's just been a lot with COVID, this crazy election cycle, local politics, the uprising, the visualization of the uprising, because like I said, the fight's been going on with the Black Lives Matter, movement. So this has been a real trendy word, the trendy, self-care, self-love, all that, right? You know what I mean? So
Right.
so I want you to share with folks, some of the stuff you've been doing to take care of yourself during this time, because especially as Black men, we may not engage in that. I know me, like, I got to do better, so it's good for me to hear from others, but a lot of times I'm sharing ways to navigate with other folks, but not necessarily drinking the juice. So everybody who comes on the show, I'm asking that, because as Black folks, we gotta do it. Sometimes we just go, and we gotta just do a better job of taking care of ourselves. So I want you to share some tools and steps that you've been using and doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going. So, and I know I definitely, as an athletic director, I preach it more than I live it. But during this pandemic, I took the opportunity to just walk more, write more. I started with a Medium account and had a couple posts, just about my life in education as an administrator and as a parent. I started my son's YouTube channel, Jack's Facts. Obviously, I didn't take a lot of classes on how to edit, so it's not great. But my son, that's his thing. He's actually on a YouTube channel, High Hill Kids, and so he likes to be in front of the camera. So that was very therapeutic for me to watch him, get in front of a camera, be himself. But that's really just kind of what I did. I tried to look at, try to, the fact that the pandemic had us in the house, right, gave me and my kids and my partner, her, an opportunity to just, do the things we always talked about doing together, right?
Right.
To the point of nausea, but we did.
Yeah, you could definitely slow down. And I mean, this whole media stuff, I learned a lot of this stuff, COVID learning, YouTube University,
Right.
I got Rona University, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely AC. This is after COVID productions, you know what I'm saying? So BC before COVID, we didn't know none of this, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people learned a lot of things. And me, I started, counseling and, trying to do more meditation and working out on a daily and stuff like that. So just really trying to, dig down, have some conversations, and just be real with where I'm at and who I am, and accepting that, and then trying to just every day. This young cat I interviewed a couple weeks ago. His name is Nico Glover, and he talked about this be 1% better, 1% better every day, 1% better every day. So if you improve 1% every day, you're steadily moving and improving. So.
Yeah, I'm actually. It's funny. I believe I'm on a board with Nico Aftertown.
Okay.
Education and Innovation Center. I didn't mention. Yeah, so I'm on the board. I'm on a board with him with Aftertown Education and Innovation Center. But yeah,
he's a
smart,
sharp young brother. Yeah. Sharp young brother. So.
The last that counseling thing, I didn't mention it, but man, I've been in counseling for 5 years. I think it's imperative for us as Black men to not. To find outlets to get our feelings out and be heard and just process it with someone else who's has no agenda or has no gosh, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Anyways, it's just I'm glad you started that. Yeah.
Well, that's what, like I said, we got to share that and make it normalize it, right? Because sometimes it's looked at as you're not strong or you're not this or not that because you got feelings or whatever. So
right.
We got to be able to. That's why I ask these questions, because I know we're doing it. A lot of us are doing it individually, but if we could share it with the greater community, it's like, okay, these cats are doing it, then it's okay for me to do it. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. So. What advice would you give someone looking to get involved in community work?
Follow your passion. Do something that you're passionate about. Don't there's enough work out there. There's enough organizations out there that have a similar vision as you do. And so, the best thing you can do is find that organization, connect with them. I can tell you right now, this community work doesn't pay. It doesn't pay, right? It's not, you're not going to get rich off of it. Maybe some people have, but you're not going to get rich off of it. So it definitely has to be in line where your heart is, and the work has to be something that you love to do. And if it is not, then you're just going to get upset with it every time you look at your bank account, right? Yeah, it's
definitely something you got to with passion, right? And like you said, there's a lot of people doing a lot of amazing things. You don't got to recreate the wheel. You align with folks that are doing stuff that you're doing and rock with it. And every issue has a bunch of different answers, right, and solutions. So there's, it's the more minds we got together to go after education or employment or housing or criminal justice or whatever it is, the better to get to, and what I've realized is nobody really has the answer. People may say they do or act like they do, but nobody really has the answer. And if they say they do, they're selfish or they're lying. So,
yeah. I mean, the only other thing I'll say to that is, we have a tendency to try to start our own thing, right, and not come together as community, and so our resources get thinned out because there's so many of us running around with our heads chopped off, trying to do our own thing. And so, which is why, I really appreciate the work Build does, because, it's not, Build is, a group of community leaders that got together and said, let's do this together, right? Let's not be individuals and kind of go our own ways. And so, yeah.
And the African proverb that says many hands make light lifting, but part of that is building relationships, spending time with each other, breaking bread, checking in. And that's how you build the equity in the relationship. And then when it's time to do some action, you got equity. Or when things get funky, because in every relationship, you're going to have some withdrawals, right? So if you ain't got no deposits in the bank, in the relationship bank, and you start going to withdrawals, now you're in debt. You know what I mean? So that's,
right,
we really spend time with each other, break bread, chop it up, check in, all that stuff. And then, 10% of the action is what people see. That's 10% of really what we do. 90% is behind the scenes, where we're, just going on walks, we're chopping it up, we're breaking bread, spending time with each other's kids, and all that type of stuff. So, we're nothing without the community. So that's the breakdown too. It's like you can't, you're not relevant if you're not relevant to the community. So, so how you've talked about a number of things. So, and it's going to be in the description. It's in the description. So, but how do folks? Well, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you? Some of the stuff that you're doing, like, is there a website? Is it email? Like, what's the best way for folks to get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get in contact with me, so I got a website, learnwithusnow.org. That's the best way to get in contact with me. abrooks@learnwithusnow.org. If there's something that some community type thing you're looking to get into around education, if you're just moving to the city and don't know exactly what schools to look at, or what athletic or arts programs are available to your kid where we're at, that's really where I want to kind of be a resource. So those are the places to connect with me.
That's what's up. So before we go, I always give people opportunity to ask me questions. So if you have any questions for me, this is your time to ask. I've been asking all the questions, so I want to give you an opportunity to ask anything you want to ask of me.
Can you still dunk?
Man, probably on the 8th, maybe on the side hoops at Rainier. No, I'm close though. I mean, I might be able to now. I might be able to now that I'm working out, but
right.
But not definitely not like I used to be, man.
Man, I used to have springs.
That's all I used to do.
That's man.
That's all I used to do.
Question. I got a question. So Build Media, right? That's something you started during the pandemic, right?
Yep.
Where do you see Build Media being in a year?
Well, what I'm hoping to do is to help other organizations that want to get more of a media platform, is to train people through the process. So one, provide a platform for like this, you know what I'm saying? And about to roll out the Stories from the South End podcast. So I already started doing interviews for that. Looking at doing like Blacks in Trades. So Black folks that are in trades, because a lot of times, you've done groups with young folks, they either think they're going to college, they're going to play basketball, football, baseball, or be a hustler, right? And they're not thinking about the trades. There's a lot of resources and money in trades, and you don't even have to graduate high school. So, really doing something like that. So I don't really have no big aspirations and dreams for it, to be honest. I just really want to try to provide a platform. We were like streaming a lot of our events, so this will just make things more crispy, more professional. And like I said, and the skills that we've learned through this process is we're trying to pass some of that on to other community orgs or groups or whatever that want to have their own shows and those types of things. And, we could help, train and develop them in that process, as well as young folks. Ideally, it could be a workshop that we, teach some young folks on how to do podcasting and editing and all that stuff, so.
Sure, I might need to jump on so I can figure out how to edit my son's videos.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know, not a whole bunch of questions. I've just been very impressed, proud. That you know, I grew up with you, so I so the work that you've been doing, man, like, you know, keep pushing forward. You know, any way that I can support, I'm here for you. And yeah, and whenever you know, and I appreciate you providing the spaces like the Saturday talks and the walks, because those have been very helpful for me. And I got to get back on it. I got to get back on it, but I appreciate you provide the space. So
It's all good. We're going to continue. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. And I mean, you know where I come from. So it's, you know,
yeah.
And what I've been through, and, you know, the trajectory that I could have been on and all of us could have been on, you know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, when I lost my brother, when I reflected back on folks like James and, you know, Rico, Scipio, Glenn, you know, all those cats, you know, Hop, Guy and Coach Moore, like all those people, like, you know, those are pillars in the community, you know what I'm saying? Tim Metcalf, like that. I mean, we could keep going. Like it's, you know, that stuff really made a difference. So that really put me into the lane that I'm in now. And then, you know, then trying to groom the next generation and just try to keep just, you know, we got the torch right now, but we got to be able to pass the torch and keep it pushing. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate it. I know you've come out to a number of our events, supported. Lil Bro done came out. He be asking me if I can make layups and stuff now. He used to be at our practice.
I wasn't gonna go there, you know.
I ain't tripping. It is what it is. So, so he came out to the late night joints. Like it's, you know, it's just been dope. You know, just for us all to still have community, even though we're so spread out. Because we all used to just be in the neighborhood, you know, our neighborhood together. So, but yeah, I appreciate your ongoing support and looking forward to, like we were talking earlier a little bit before we went, you know, recorded. You know, looking forward to seeing how we can tap in to help support some of those young folks that are in the athletics in the school district and support you in your role. You know, you know, because ultimately we all want to be successful. And it's all about convening and being a network and using the resources that we got to be a collective network. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, bro. I appreciate your time, and we will be in touch soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.
Appreciate you.
All right, once again, this is Dre with Build 206, Build 206 Media. Man, this brother's been doing a lot of things. You guys tap in the website, you know, email him if you guys want to get linked up. He has all the resources around education, arts, you know, different types of things that your kids can get involved in, as well as you may bounce some ideals off. There's a lot of other people that are going to be coming up through this series, and I've already went through, so make sure you guys check out the other episodes and tap in. You know, we got a collective network. Black folks are very resilient. We got a lot of resources within our community. We just got to tap into them. All right, y'all. Peace.